the channel, y'all know what time it is. I just give my fair opinion on the sport that I love, that we love. It's time to go in. We talking about Tyson Fury versus Usyk versus Tank versus Marin, and we're going in on other subjects as well. But I like to thank the subscribers, who seen the shorts and you came in and you subscribed to the channel. I'm waiting right now to get my computer room set up. I just moved, so y'all, it's coming. It's coming. But we gotta talk about the fights that's upcoming, and I gotta spill my little 2 cents on it. I gotta give you what it is. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you, Frank? How you doing, my brother? Now, the first fight I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna talk about it. It's the Frank Martin versus Tank Davis. Which I told y'all in my shorts. I feel that Tank Davis, from his high IQ of boxing, him being around boxing longer than Frank Martin, he's using, his mind. He's playing psychological games, telling Frank, you're not the one. You think you should be out there partying when you should be training. You started when you was 15. I started when I was 7. These are all mind games to get into Frank Martin's head. If Frank Martin listened to these things, y'all, it's going to be a bad night. And from what I saw, in my opinion, your opinion may be different, but what I saw, in my opinion, from the way that Frank kept his mouth closed, the way that Frank wasn't being disrespectful, and which when you fighting a fighter like Tank, you have to be disrespectful. Well, Floyd Mayweather went at Oscar De La Hoya, he was very disrespectful. If you show any form of respect when you're challenging a fighter like Tank, then you already lost the fight, in my opinion. Me personally, I am going with Tank Davis, but you can never tell a man's demeanor. It could be that Frank Martin is really not just a talker, but what's crazy is he became a talker when he approached Keyshawn Davis like he was a bull. He came straight up to Keyshawn Davis. I ain't about this, I ain't no, come on, what's up, this, that, and the other. But when it comes to Tank, you talking about, oh, you said you ain't gonna do no talking. You and your brother, if I ain't mistaken, the guy that was in your corner. Now y'all worry about Tank doing talking. Then Tank said something about an old lady that I guess Frank is dealing with, and all of a sudden he got quiet again. So this could be a psychological fight right here. This could be a psychological fight. And I think that due to the IQ of Tank, I think that, Tank gonna come out on top. One thing that I always tell y'all, I think the people who could beat Tank have to be superior boxers. I think still to this day probably that Devin Haney could possibly beat Tank, unless Tank can get inside and knock Devin Haney out, which I see can happen now. I still think that Shakur Stevenson can beat Devin Haney. I still want to see Teofimo Lopez. No, not Devin Haney. I'm sorry, y'all. Tank. I still think that Shakur Stevenson can beat Tank. I still think that Teofimo Lopez, from his unorthodox style, how he jumps in and out, his power will give Tank problems. But hopefully we get to see these fights with this seven fight deal. Hopefully that happens to the fans. I keep telling y'all, we probably not gonna get a lot of real fights out of Tank from that 7-fight deal, but we probably might get 3, maybe even 4. 3, maybe even 4 other fights we want to see. Now, I told y'all this is gonna be a fight of the right hook. These two southpaws. It's gonna be the jab and the right hook that's gonna win this fight, and also body shots. Whoever throws their right hook the cleanest, because they southpaws more effective, they're gonna win this fight. And I'm thinking it's gonna be Tank, but y'all, I'm not putting down Frank Martin. Frank Martin is a dog. Y'all done seen him go against other opponents, but y'all got to remember these opponents is not Tank. We have seen what Tank is capable of. We've seen that Tank is a counterpuncher. We've seen that Tank can catch you at any time and knock you out. We've seen it. So don't count Tank out because you see size difference. Size has nothing to do with boxing, because you see muscles. That don't mean nothing. We've seen Tank go 12 rounds with 7 rounds or something with Rolly Romero and knock him out later. We've seen Tank get hit, punched, this, that, and other, and knock Leo Santa Cruz out later. Tank has a high boxing IQ. The boy is special. And I'm so happy that he finally has given us a black fighter to see how special he really is. And not, people take it and criticize and say, why you got to say a black fighter? Well, it's been known in the beginning of times in boxing that, black fighters, we just are special. They tell you all the time, you can go on any street corner and tell a black guy to throw a jab, and he'll throw it better than any white guy, any Italian guy, or any other guy of any other nationality. Black people will throw a better jab. That's just who we are. That's just in our athleticism and what God gave us. It's not to knock any other nationality, because I love everybody, whether you Mexican, black, green, purple. I love all y'all. But we talking about boxing, we have to keep it real. So I believe that Tank is psychologically getting into Frank Martin's head. I think he's making him doubt himself. And then you got to understand the lights. Frank Martin gonna have to go under the lights with Tank Davis. Tank Davis done been in the lights before. Tank Davis has became a champion before. Tank Davis has been in Las Vegas before. Tank Davis has seen celebrities show up before. And he's been through all that. Frank Martin has not. And we have to remember his trainer. We have to remember, even though we want to give his trainer credit for the Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight. Okay, we give you that. But what about the Errol Spence, Jamal Charlo? You see what I'm saying? We got to talk about them fights. You send them guys in there with no game plan, no nothing. Ryan Garcia just so happened to knock Devin Haney out from his own ability. But yet y'all going to give credit to Derrick James. What is Derrick James going to be able to show Frank Martin against Tank? Nothing. Because you can't teach a dog new tricks overnight. You can't teach a dog new tricks overnight. Now, I will say this. One punch can always change a fight in boxing. We all know that. Tank can get hit with something that Frank Martin throw, and then the next thing we know, we see Tank staggering. We don't know what's going to go on in that fight. But at the end of the day, I'm rolling with Tank in that fight because I think Tank has the higher IQ, and Tank has been under those lights before. I think that Frank Martin is literally doubting himself. It could be that Frank Martin is not a talker. It could be that Frank Martin ain't just with the, yapping back and forth. And, I got to go out there and have something to prove to the public. I'm not going to talk this, that, and the other. But to me, it looked like he's intimidated a little. Now I'm going to go to the Fury versus Usyk. When it comes to Fury versus Usyk, like I told y'all, same thing in the short. I told y'all Tyson Fury is going to be undisputed champion of the world 5 years ago when he was fighting Deontay Wilder. The first fight. Tyson Fury is, like Floyd Mayweather used to say, I'm God gifted. Tyson Fury is God gifted. Usyk has too many disadvantages at him. He'll form a cruiserweight. He has no power. He cannot fight going backwards. If you back Usyk up, Usyk gonna get beat. His body punches. Tyson Fury, all you gotta do is come in overweight, clinch, hit Usyk to his stomach, beat his body up in the early rounds. Later on, Usyk gonna go down. Usyk cannot mess with Tyson Fury. I'm gonna also say this before I get off, because I ain't gonna really be on live until I get my room set up, my my background set up and all that. Terence Crawford versus Madrimov. I know y'all love to correct people about names, however you say his name, Madrimov, whatever. Terence Crawford is going to be in a southpaw stance. Madrimov always leaps forward with his right hand. Terence Crawford is going to catch him with a right hook and stun him and knock out Madrimov. Remember me saying this. He's going to go to his body early. He's going to jab him, go to his body. Madrimov gonna come in with that right hook, with that right hand, and lean over. And Terence gonna be in a southpaw stance and stun him with a right hook. Remember me saying this to y'all? Did you hear me? Madrimov is a taking it away from him, but he ain't been in the pros long enough to understand the pro game. You know what I'm saying? Terence gonna take him in deep water and drown him. Terence gonna catch him coming in with that right hand, and he gonna counter him with the right. I mean, with that right hand, and Terence gonna counter him with a right hook and catch him. Oh Lord, these some hating dudes. But at the same time, watch what I tell you. Terence is gonna hurt him. Terence is gonna stun him. And that's when Terence is gonna complete the mission and knock him out. So y'all be prepared for this, because Terence Crawford is gonna get that title. Whether it's interim or whether it's real, I don't know if it's real or interim or not. But Terence gonna get that title from him. And Jamel Charlo, shall I say, stop hiding. You was out there with your lipstick and your pom-poms and your lip gloss on and your skirts. And you was out there saying that Errol Spence was going to beat this man up. And now all of a sudden, we can't find you since this man's came to 154. We cannot find you at all since you came to 154. I don't know. That's what niggas do. But he ain't got no girlfriend. He ain't getting no action at all. He's sitting in his mama house on the computer. So, that's what they do. But we on here talking about boxing. We talking about the fact that I'm telling y'all that Terence Crawford, remember me saying this, is going to stun Madrimov from a right hook. He going to lean in with that straight right hand trying to hit Terence Crawford, and Terence going to catch him with a right hook. And they're going to be they're going to be murder she wrote from then. There's going to be murder she wrote from then. Now, I would want to see Shakur Stevenson versus Tank next. But, of course, they're going to go after Lomachenko, the guy that they think is aged and, a little older, which we should have had this fight 7 years ago, also with the Tevin Farmer fight. I wanted Tevin Farmer and Tank to fight, but, you know how they go. Yeah, Crawford going to get him out there. What's up with your roster? Ratada? Spit on the camera. What type of... Bro, what do y'all be on? What do y'all be on? Y'all crazy. Stevenson will beat Tank. Of course. In my opinion, I think Stevenson will beat Tank, but we have to see it. I told y'all. A fighter that can beat Tank has to be a superior boxer than Tank. You have to be a composed boxer. If you lean in on Tank, you come in on Tank, you're going to get knocked out. If you can fight off the back foot, if you can use your jab and create space and distance, you can beat Tank Davis for 12 rounds. But if you slip one time against Tank and you ain't using that jab effectively, if you ain't creating distance, Tank probably going to knock you out. I think Shakur Stevenson at 135 is the only guy that will beat Tank Davis, which is why he's screaming, Lomachenko, you're next. I bet he is. Devin don't want to run up on Shakur. You seen how Devin did. Devin, when Shakur came to 135, and I told y'all, go back and watch my videos. I told y'all when Shakur Stevenson came to 135, that Devin Haney and all the rest of them was going to run like Suge Knight in 1995 showed up. What's going on with you, Johnny Cash? They don't want to see Shakur. They talk and they say Shakur boring. They say this and they say that. Shakur is a master boxer. And he over there with Bo McNum. He be training with Terence Crawford and them. That boy's skill level is up to par to beat anybody. And they don't want to see him in the ring. Y'all keep believing that Tank talk y'all want to. Tank don't want to see Shakur Stevenson at all. I told y'all in the short, Shakur Stevenson just got on the short worldwide. I mean, on a video worldwide and told y'all, said Tank is ducking him, but he calling out. He calling out Vasyl Lomachenko, who ain't said his name at all. Devin lost. There ain't no need for a rematch against Lomachenko. Devin lost against Lomachenko. I don't care what nobody say. Devin lost that fight. I don't care what nobody say. But I'm gonna tell y'all just like this, man. This your boy Ease. I gotta go and get off. I done had a day at work. You know what I'm saying? It's time for me to go and handle my business now, and get off. We gonna get the channel jumping, man. I gotta get my background set up, get me a desk. I got me a computer room. It's all finna go down, baby. So just stay tuned. To those who subscribe, I thank you. I thank you for your love, your support. If you want to show the channel some support, you know where to go. It's in the description. And I thank y'all for y'all time. This your boy Ease. I'm out.